And don't forget to watch the big giveaway afterwards.
Why, Cochran? Why?
Do I need a reason? Mr. Cupfer was right, you know. I do love a good joke, and this is the best ever. A joke on the children.
Halloween 3: Season of the Witch is a 1982 sequel to the first two Halloween films that has absolutely nothing to do with the Michael Myers storyline. On October 23, 1982, in a Northern California town, Dr. Daniel Chalice, played by Tom Atkins, visits his ex-wife Linda, played by Nancy Keys, and his two children.
8 more days to Halloween, Halloween, Halloween.
So,
8 more days
how you been?
Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. 8 more
gotta call in.
days to Halloween.
Drinking and doctoring, great combination.
In the meantime, a shop owner named Harry Grimbridge, played by Al Berry, runs from mysterious men in suits who are aggressively pursuing him. He collapses in a gas station shop run by Walter Jones, played by Essex Smith, who takes the man to a hospital. Dr. Chalice arrives and tries to find out what is wrong with the man, who is clutching onto a Halloween mask and gives a creepy warning.
They're going to kill us. All of us.
Later that night, a man in a suit walks into the hospital and kills Harry Grimbridge with his hands. When Dr. Chalice confronts the man, he sets himself on fire in his car.
Hey!
Harry's daughter, Ellie Grimbridge, played by Stacey Nelkin, arrives at the hospital, and she decides to investigate her father's death.
I don't know. Your father came into the hospital. I thought he was crazy, out of his mind. He's hanging onto a Halloween mask. He wouldn't let it go. And what he said was, they're going to kill us all. And in a little while, he was dead. And I don't know what the hell is going on.
Meeting with Dan, the two decide to head to Santa Mara, California, a small factory town founded in 1887 by Irish immigrants and home to the Silver Shamrock Novelties Factory, which makes 3 very popular Halloween masks, one of which her father was holding when he died. After checking into the local motel, Dan learns that Harry had stayed there recently. He also decides to do his best to try and console the saddened and very well-proportioned Ellie Grimbridge.
Maybe I ought to get another room.
That would look sort of suspicious, wouldn't it?
What I mean is, if you'd feel more comfortable, I could sleep in the car. Be better on this floor anyway.
Where do you want to sleep, Dr. Chalice?
That's a dumb question, Miss Grimbridge.
While the two enjoy a romp, a nearby motel guest, Marge Gutman, played by Gar Stevens, falls victim to a silver shamrock mask when a microchip on the back falls off, activates a beam, and turns her face into a disgusting open wound of bugs and snot and ass. After shagging each other rotten, Dan and Ellie decide to head to the mask factory, run by factory owner and prolific novelty gag gift businessman Connell Cochran, played by Dan O'Herlihy.
I want a mask. Can I have a mask?
Just what I had in mind for you, little buddy.
I want that one.
Oh, no. Look over here. Those masks haven't been through final processing. This one is.
Whoa.
There you are.
Wonderful.
The company, which was started after World War II, has a major television ad commercial buy on all 3 major networks nationwide, telling children to put on their silver shamrock masks and watch the commercial for a big giveaway on Halloween night.
Please hang up and...
One more day to Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. One more day to Halloween, silver shamrock.
It turns out that Cochran is a lunatic who is planning on using his booby-trapped masks to kill everyone wearing them. He wants to do so as a ritual sacrifice from an ancient Celtic tradition.
Halloween. The festival of Samhain. The last great one took place 3,000 years ago, and the hills ran red with the blood of animals and children. Sacrifices is part of our world, our craft. Witchcraft. To us, it was a way of controlling our environment. They're in alignment, and it's time again. The world's going to change tonight, Doctor. I'm glad you'll be able to watch it.
It is up to Dr. Chalice to try and stop Connell Cochran before it is too late. This movie was directed by Tommy Lee Wallace, who had been a production designer on the original 1978 Halloween film. John Carpenter and Deborah Hill produced this movie, but only did so after making sure that the film would not be a direct sequel to Halloween 2, and thus there would be no Michael Myers storyline. Most of the filming took place on location in the small coastal town of Loleta, California, from April to May of 1982. Deborah Hill suggested Tom Atkins for the role of Dr. Daniel Chalice, and Dick Warlock, the stuntman who played Michael Myers in Halloween 2, plays one of the evil men in suits. Nancy Kyes plays Dr. Chalice's ex-wife in the film, and she was best known for her role as Annie Brackett in the original Halloween. She was married to director Tommy Lee Wallace at the time, and she was also pregnant during filming. Actress Gar Stevens plays Marge Gutman, the doomed motel guest, and Gar Stevens was married to actor Tom Atkins at the time of this film. The voice of the phone operator that Chalice keeps getting when he tries to call out of Santa Mira is that of actress Jamie Lee Curtis.
We cannot complete your call as dialed. Please hang up and...
The song London Bridge is Falling Down was chosen as the Silver Shamrock jingle because this was in the public domain. The musical score was composed by John Carpenter and Alan Howarth, and it is a very creepy, unsettling synthesizer theme. The movie's novelization was published in 1982 by science fiction writer Dennis Etchison under the pseudonym Jack Martin. Despite the movie's critical failure, the book became a bestseller and was even reissued 2 years later in 1984. Despite the film's title, Connell Cochran would be considered a warlock, not a witch. This movie was released into theaters on October 22, 1982, and it grossed a total of $14.4 million, making it a box office disappointment. The main reason was because this film didn't have any relation to the Michael Myers character or storyline. John Carpenter and Deborah Hill wanted to end the Michael Myers storyline. They didn't think that Halloween 2 should have happened in the first place. They wanted to continue the Halloween films as an anthology series, sort of like The Twilight Zone. Each Halloween there would be a new Halloween movie with a different horror story. What they didn't realize, or they were reluctant to accept, was that the American public between 1978 and 1982 had already made the Halloween movie title synonymous with the character of Michael Myers. The tagline, "The Night No One Comes Home," was a play on the original Halloween movie tagline, "The Night He Came Home." The movie-going public wasn't paying attention to the fact that the actors, the characters, the plot, and the poster had zero to do with Michael Myers, or Dr. Loomis, or Laurie Strode, or Haddonfield, or anything related to the first two films. They thought, hey, Tony, it's Halloween 3. Yeah, that fucking Michael Myers in the mask. Let's go see it. Bring Cheryl. Yeah, we'll get some action tonight. They didn't know that the movie had nothing to do with Michael Myers. And can you blame them? Over time, this movie has become sort of a black sheep entry into the Halloween universe. In the 2021 film Halloween Kills, 3 victims of Michael Myers are shown wearing the silver shamrock masks on a merry-go-round, showing a little bit of a tribute and continuity with this movie and the Michael Myers Halloween universe. Director Tommy Lee Wallace took great inspiration from the 1956 movie Invasion of the Body Snatchers, hence why the film has a rather nihilistic and gloomy ending.
Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it! Stop it!
Not to mention that the film's setting of Santa Mira, California is the same name of the town used in the 1956 movie. Wallace himself has said that this is not a slasher movie, but rather a pod movie, more reminiscent of those science fiction films of the 1950s. For the sake of continuity with the Halloween movies, and because I'm far too OCD to do movies out of order, I wanted to give this film a review, and it's not an awful movie. The music and Dan O'Hurley's acting adds a real creepy feel to it. Tom Atkins is great as always, and Stacey Nelkin is really attractive and does a great job in her role. If you watch it on its own without any consideration of the Michael Myers storyline, Halloween 3 Season of the Witch is a solid 6 out of 10 stars.